Hello once again everybody at Vintage Iron Range Dirt Track Racing. Today I am joined by Norman Dale from Aurora. Norm, it's great to have you here today.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking time out and stopping by for this interview. A lot of people may not know, but you had a rollover once in your racing career, which was probably one of the most infamous crashes that ever happened at the Hibbing Raceway. Other than maybe the 44 car pileup that happened in 1953, I think your rollover is probably one of the most talked about things when people start discussing things like that. Can you kind of take us through that maybe, or do you remember much about that?
I can't. I just remember going on the backstretch. I had my foot in the carburetor and was just entering turn 3. And all of a sudden, the car just kind of felt like it was going up like this. And I looked down to my right. All I seen was a racetrack going by. The car was going over.
And that's probably the last you remember of that wreck?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can remember it was, hey, these late models don't roll over.
They're not supposed to.
No. And over that sucker went, and that's the last I remember. When I woke up, I was in the hospital.
Do you remember roughly what year that might have been?
Let me see. I think it was 1980.
Okay, yeah, I always figured it had to be late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
So, that car, now that was a late model.
Yeah.
I remember that car. It was like black and silver, maybe.
Yeah.
It looked a little different than the rest of the cars. I think at that time everybody kind of had Camaros, but your car was that a Ford?
It was a Ford Mustang.
Okay, so that probably explains why the body was a little different. I was probably 8 years old when that happened.
I had bought that body from Performance Bodies from Texas, and it was shipped up.
Was that a fiberglass body?
Yeah.
Okay, because now as a young kid in the stands, I remember seeing that, and there was like two or three cars wide going down the backstretch, and all of a sudden your car started barrel rolling.
Yeah.
And I remember body panels were just flying off, like the car was exploding, and the only thing left was like a roll cage with a few tires hooked to it.
Yeah.
But you could see you inside the car. You had like a bright red or bright orange suit on.
Yeah,
and
right.
I remember, you were just flopping around in there helplessly like a rag doll.
Yeah.
I remember my mom seeing that accident, and she was just scared by it because it was scary to see somebody flopping around in a car like that. But I think one of the most intriguing things about that accident is when you were flipping there at the end of the backstretch, you actually hit the lights that were hanging above the backstretch and either knocked them down or knocked them out, but your car nailed those lights.
Yeah, I took down the red light that hung over the track.
Yeah, because at that time they had like a cable strung across the
Yeah.
backstretch.
Entering turn 3.
And I think that was a feature race. Do you remember if it was a heat or feature?
Yeah, it was.
But yeah, that was quite a scary wreck, and many people still talk about that to this day.
Yeah.
Now, so you remember waking up in the hospital.
Yep.
Did you suffer any injuries from that crash?
I fractured 3 vertebrae in my neck.
Really? So you basically broke your neck.
Yeah.
So
And I had, my body was black and blue from...
oh, I bet you must have been
My
sore.
arms were sticking out through the roof. The roof panel was gone.
Uh-huh.
And the top of the roll cage, my arms were sticking out as it was going over. And
Something you don't want to do again, huh?
broke my helmet.
Jeez. Now, I think I remember talking to you a while ago. Do you still have that suit?
No.
Oh, you don't? I thought maybe you did. Okay. Do you have anything left of that car at all, or whatever became of that car?
I still got the motor.
Really?
Yeah. The car is gone.
I suppose it was gone after that crash. That was the end of that car.
There was nothing left of it.
So that's pretty much the end of that story then. Destroyed the car. Did you ever race again after that?
I had another car. I put it together a super stock after that, and we went to Thunder Bay.
Oh, so you did do some racing
Yeah.
after that.
I
Okay.
didn't drive it. I
Oh.
couldn't drive it no more.
Oh, so you didn't drive after that though, but you owned cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. How many years did you race leading up until that point? Do you know, or do you remember?
Couple of years.
So you had a relatively short career then,
Oh,
racing.
yeah.
Weren't you teamed up with Charlie Rowe at one point?
Charlie Rowe, and I pitted for him. That car belonged to John Anderson from the Bears.
The Charlie Rowe car.
Yeah.
That was number 33, right?
33.
Okay. What classes did you race then for your short career? Was it just late
Super
model?
stock.
Oh, no, that car you rolled over was a late model, right?
Yeah.
So you raced late models and super stocks.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your number?
That car was 28.
Okay. And why did you pick that number? Why were you 28?
I just picked it.
Oh yeah, no particular reason?
No.
Okay. Your super stock, what kind of car was that then?
That was a Cougar.
Like a Link Mercury?
Cougar.
Okay, so you were a Ford guy then.
Yeah.
That's kind of neat, a little off the beaten
Ernie
path.
brought him, built the motors.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better Ford guy to build
Yeah.
engines. How did you do in your racing career? Were you able to win any races or any major accomplishments?
No.
So you were just out there having fun?
Yeah.
Okay, nothing wrong with that, right?
Nothing wrong with that.
And
Actually, that's what most of the guys end up doing anyway. You're not making any money at that racing.
At the end of the day, I think the guy who has the most fun comes out ahead, no matter
There you go.
no matter what position you finish. There's some people who win races consistently, and at the end of the night, there's not a smile on their face. They just load everything up and leave. And I think to myself, man, that really isn't a lot of fun.
That's right.
The guy who finished in the back of the pack, who's there all night having fun with his buddies, BSing after the races, I think he's the true winner.
Yeah. And if you can put it on the trailer or on the whatever you have to haul it with, put it on in one piece and haul it home and be able to come back the next week without spending thousands of dollars to get ready to go again.
That's a good night.
That's a good night.
Did you have any help back then, like any pitmen or sponsors or anybody?
No, my brothers, they helped me out.
So it's kind of a family
That was
thing.
about it.
Okay, a family thing then.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I'm assuming then you quit racing because of that accident.
I had to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you have raced for quite a bit longer, do you think, if you would have
yeah.
had that? So that's kind of unfortunate that a wreck like that pretty much ends your career. Yeah. So today you're currently involved with racing.
Yep.
You help your son Dwayne. He's running a modified now.
Yep.
He does quite well. Did you like driving, or do you like helping your son better?
Well, I kind of like driving, but now, of course, I can't do it no more. So, Dwayne and I have been together working on a race car since 91, I think it was, when he started. And
So you must get some enjoyment out of that.
I enjoy. I go every night. I go to the racetrack wherever that car goes. I'm there.
So you're a diehard race fan.
Well, gotta be.
That's great. And now your brother Toivo, he's raced on and off
Yeah.
different cars. I actually bought some stuff from him this winter that I used this season. But so he's kind of a hardcore racer too. Whenever he gets the opportunity, he's at the track. And
Yeah.
so your whole family's really
Yeah, we're
been involved.
We're all pretty much into it. If they're not down the pit, they're up in the stands.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts about racing today with the modern racing as compared to back like when you raced? Is there a big difference between it you see? And
Huge.
What are those differences?
The cost.
The cost
The
alone.
cost is unreal.
It wasn't that bad when you raced.
If you want to be competitive now, you got to have lots of money.
And I think you have to be a lot more dedicated too, as far as time goes.
Oh, definitely.
You know, you gotta live and breathe race car if you
Yeah.
want to run up front. Yeah, kind of the nature of the beast, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we go, then I guess, is there anything that you would maybe want to say to anybody that might be watching this video, or any words of wisdom?
Well, the only thing I got to say is you got to do this just because you love to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And because if you don't, it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you big time.
Mm-hmm.
The farther you get up in the high paying racing, late models, modifieds, you gotta have some pretty good money.
Mm-hmm.
Because now they come out with these, we can run engine builder motors.
Oh yeah. Not only have the cars
And-
changed, but the engines have.
Yeah, and boy, oh boy, they kill you.
Yeah.
$30,000, you know, for a late model motor.
Uh huh. Yeah, that's pricey. But
20.
hey, we all love it, right?
Yeah,
And a lot of
Well-
people, spend that kind of money on a boat
you know,
or a
yeah,
boat motor.
that's-
I've never
well,
caught a fish with a dollar bill in his mouth, so. Yeah.
No, but you gotta stay out of the bars. They'll kill you.
Too much partying will take away from the race program.
Well, I went to classes in California back in, let me see, 79. Me and Bruce Nemi and Dan Isaacson, we flew out to California. And the first thing that guy told us when we were in the class, if you're gonna run a race car, don't drink.
Oh yeah.
If you're gonna drink, forget about the race car.
Well, I'll have to admit I probably break that on a weekly basis.
Well,
but
you know, he said it eats up on your brain.
yeah.
Alcohol will do it.
So you stay away from the alcohol.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. But well, Norman, I really thank you for stopping by. It's been wonderful talking with you about one of the most infamous crashes or rollovers that ever happened at the track.
I wish I could tell you more, but
No, that's perfectly fine.
I just can't remember. But I remember when I got home from the hospital and they had my car on the truck parked out by the garage. I had to go look at it. I said, "Holy shit!" There was nothing there but bent pipes
Yeah.
and a rear end tied on, and
Well, and safeties came a long way too. So it's
definitely.
amazing you survived that crash. That was
Yeah.
one horrific accident, but I think we're all glad you survived it. And
so am I.
all right, well, Norm, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate doing the interview, and I'll see you at the track this summer.
Sounds good, Mark.
All right, thank you.
Take care.